first, let me get that introduction. We on a long road to self-destruction. You was so in love, you wanna tell me nothing. Let me get this real.
Hi guys, it's Vanessa and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the top reasons why you should not get locks. Now I know you guys probably read the title and now you're looking at me and you're like, what does this girl even know about dreadlocks? Like, she doesn't even have dreadlocks. What does she know about dreadlocks? Why should I even listen to her? I had dreadlocks for 12 years. I had them since I was 10 years old and I recently cut them off, but I still get tons of questions, tons of DMs every single day with people asking me tips on locks, things like that. So I really just wanted to make this video for those of you who may be interested in getting locks and you just want to know like the things that you should know beforehand. I got you. Yes, so if you guys are ready to hear my top reasons why you should not get locks, then please keep watching. The first reason why you should not get locks is if you are someone who prefers having a different kind of hairstyle every day. With locks, you only get so much variety. And when I had locks, I like to preach to you guys like, oh, don't worry, if you have locks, you can still do a whole lot of styles, like you're not too limited. But the reality is when you have locks, you can only do but so much. Your hair is like kind of in a protective style. Like this, for instance, if my hair is like this, there's only but so much I can do with this. Like I could put it up in a bun, I could do like a half up, half down style. When I had locks, I mean, I had them for like the majority of my childhood. So I would constantly be looking for inspiration for ways to switch up my style with locks. I would just be playing around with my hair, which would be like the best way for me to learn how to finesse it and create new styles. So I would do like bantu knots, I would do flexi rod sets, I would just do different things to my hair, like make it curly. Other styles that you would want to do with your loose natural hair, you wouldn't be able to do with locks. And that's just the reality of it. Nothing wrong with that. If you are someone who doesn't really care that much about switching up their hair and you're comfortable in the same style or wearing the same style, definitely get locks. But if you are someone who needs change, needs variety, craves it, don't do it to yourself. Like, just don't do it. Don't get locks. Number two, the second reason why you should definitely not get locks is if you are someone who likes a fresh look, who likes to have a very neat, put together look with your hair, then I definitely would suggest not getting locks, because when you have locks, you really have to be comfortable with frizz. As a type 4 natural, you know, my hair is naturally frizzy, period. So like, I have to be comfortable with my frizz regardless. But if you are someone who maybe you like to have your hair straightened and you like to have like a neat put together look, or even with like protective styles, if you like your root twisted all the way so you can see scalp, like you like the very neat refined look with your hair, I definitely would not recommend getting locks. It is not for you, because with locks your hair is going to be frizzy, your hair is going to be out of place, and it's not always going to look perfect. That's a fact. Speaking as someone who had locks for 12 years, I had to deal with the frizz a lot. There is nothing better, let me tell you, than having a fresh retwist when you have your locks. But the whole point of having locks is to be comfortable with your hair being in its natural state, and that means like even at its frizziest, you just need to be okay with that. Like, your hair is not always going to look super neat. You're not always going to see scalp with parts. There's gonna be times where, you know, your hair might be looking crazy for a little bit until you get it done again, or until you retwist your own hair again. You're gonna have those times. And I wanna say more often than not, your hair is going to be looking frizzy and stuff. Majority of the time, my hair was frizzy. It was not always twisted to the root. I liked it like that. I didn't really mind it. So if, like I said, if you are someone who prefers a neat, refined style all the time and you don't like frizz, like you just don't like the frizzy look, then I definitely would suggest you don't get locks. Okay, number three, the third reason why you should definitely not get locks is if you are getting locks for length. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, The reason why I wanted locks when I was younger is because I saw how beautiful my mom's locks were. I just was like, oh my gosh, mother, how did your hair grow so long? People think that black people or black women can't grow their hair super dumb long to their back or grow waist length hair, when that is not the case. So once I saw my mom's hair all long and luscious, I was like, ooh, I need to know how to get that going for myself. I would say that initially I was drawn to the length, but I would recommend strongly that if that's all you're going for, then definitely do not get locks, because when it comes to having long locks, that does not happen overnight. It takes patience, it takes consistency, and the whole idea of a lock journey is a commitment, because you really have to like go through it in order to get to the good part. I initially was so excited when my mom first started my hair, because I was like, yes, my hair is gonna be long, my hair is gonna be down in my back, anybody gonna be able to tell me nothing. However, 1 year into my lock journey, my hair was still up here, and I'm sitting here like, what is going on? Why is my hair not down in my back yet? You know why? Because lock journeys do not take a year. Lock journeys do not take 2 years, 3 years. I wouldn't even say 4 years for you to get your locks down to your back. Now, if you are someone who started your locks when your hair was already long, then yeah, maybe in 2 to 3 years, your hair will be down your back. However, if you're starting up here with your locks, I want to say I didn't start seeing real length with my locks until I was probably 6, 7 years in, 7, 8 maybe. That's when I really started to see the length, and I was like, oh wow, when did my hair get this long? It's a feeling that does not happen overnight, and if that is your goal with locks and you're not even interested in the entire process and the entire journey of it, then I definitely recommend that you do not get locked. And you're probably going to quit early. You're probably going to be that person who has a lock journey for 1 to 2 years and quits because you weren't actually committed. You were just doing it because you wanted length or because you just thought it looked good at the time. No, that's not how it works. So the fourth reason that you should not get locks is if you are not fully comfortable in your blackness. I saw a different video where a man was talking about reasons why you shouldn't get locks, and he said this one thing and I agreed with him so hard on it, you guys. He said that he feels like because he has locks and he's black, he feels like a double minority. I felt like, okay, people already look at me and they see a black woman, right? But now it's like I'm a black woman plus a little bit more blackness because of my locks. Locks, I feel like straight up say black power. I grew up in a lot of like predominantly white school, so I was constantly in positions where I was the only black girl in class. So just imagine, it's one thing to be the only black girl in class, but it's another thing to be the only black girl in class and you have locks, and a whole nother minority on top of your minority. It makes you stand out. If you have locks, there's no way that you cannot stand out, because although there are a lot of people in the world that have locks, there's also a lot of people in the world that don't, and there's even more people in the world that don't understand locks. So it's like almost people looking at you as if you're just rare, and you are, because people that have locks are not like, I mean, you might grow up in an area where there's mad people with locks and stuff like that, but like, I did not. You just have to have a good sense of self, and you have to just be comfortable in who you are. I guess that's really what I'm trying to get at here, is that it's very important for you to be comfortable with who you are if you are someone who is interested in getting locks, because people have like a lot of negative connotations when it comes to locks. A lot of people just look at locks negatively. They just don't like it for whatever reason. They think it's ugly, blah, 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 like whatever. You just have to be prepared for that, and you have to just be comfortable with yourself anyway. No matter what other people say or how other people feel, you're going to be in a lot of situations, you're probably going to be the odd one out. You're probably going to be the one person that stands out amongst everyone just because you have locks. So that is another reason why you should not get locks if you are not completely comfortable, or you're not even trying to get comfortable with your blackness, with who you are. Number 5, another reason why you shouldn't get locks is because locks can really affect your confidence. Now, kind of piggying back on the previous reason, especially in the starter stage, like the starter lock stage, the ugly stage, or the awkward stage, people would say, is very hard. Like, it can be very hard, it can be discouraging, and it can definitely have a big effect on your confidence. Locks are going to teach you a lot about yourself, and locks definitely force you to have to be comfortable with your looks, and comfortable in all stages. I'm telling you, like, if you're starting up here with your locks and you have little nubs, little baby lock nubs, it's gonna affect your confidence, because there are going to be times where you are, you know, feeling yourself, you're amped, you're like, yeah, I'm on this lock journey, I'm all in. But there's also gonna be times where you look at yourself and you're just like, wow, my hair is so short, my hair won't lock up. You might look at other people with locks and, you know, get like, what do people call it? Lock envy. So the 6th reason why you should not get locks is if you are doing it to look like someone else. I know a lot of people look at lock inspiration online, on Instagram and stuff, and you instantly see someone with long, luscious locks, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want that. I want to look exactly like that. I want my hair to look exactly like yours. No. Your hair isn't going to look exactly like anyone's that you admire. It's going to look like yours. You shouldn't have an expectation when you get locks as far as exactly how you want it to look if you're trying to look exactly like someone else. Now, understand if you like the way someone's parting system is, or you just like how many locks that person has, that's cool. But even if you do the exact same parting system, or you have the exact same number of locks as someone else, you're still not going to look exactly like them. It's good to see other people as hair inspiration and have that as a motivation for why you want to do what you do, but to altogether try to copy someone's exact look as far as their locks is like, just why? Like, why would you want your hair to look exactly like someone else's as far as a lock journey? A lock journey is a very personal thing. Everyone's lock journey is unique to that specific person. Try not to compare yourself to anyone else on a lock journey, or if you're thinking about getting locks, don't just do it because you want to look exactly like someone else, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to look exactly like that person if you get locks, and you're going to be disappointed. You shouldn't want to look like anything but a better version of yourself. Like I said, it's fine to look at other people for hair inspiration and motivation, but as far as copying someone's entire look and that being why you want locks, like, no. And number 7, my last reason that you should not get locks is if you have fragile edges. I'm saying it, I'm letting you know, and I'm being real with you. If you're someone who is interested in getting locks, this is something that you should know. If you have very fragile edges, or if you have a very fragile hairline, I would not go for it. I would not do it. Do not get locks. Do not do it to yourself. Locks, as they grow, can be very heavy, and I know, like, toward the end of my lock journey, I had them for 12 years. At that last year, my hair, I feel like, was at its heaviest, and like, the weight isn't terrible to where it's like hurting your neck or anything like that. It's just when your hair is heavy like that and it's putting on so much tension on your root, over time your edges can thin. Now, this does not happen to everyone. Everyone that has long locks does not have thinning edges. You very well can have long, luscious locks and have, you know, fuller edges. But there is also the risk and the possibility of you losing those edges. Things like traction alopecia, if you're someone who ends up having locks and you're constantly manipulating your hair, you're constantly retwisting it or doing tight styles, you can definitely lose your edges. So that's just something else that you should be mindful of. And if you are someone who has thinning edges, you struggle with growing out your edges and things like that, I just would not suggest getting locks. Thinning edges, a receding hairline, traction alopecia, anything like that, I'm just gonna tell you right now, don't do it. Do not get locks if this is you. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing my top 7 reasons why you should not get locks. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, y'all.